What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today I have another plan with me video. This is going to be part 2 of the series on how to plan for 2021. I do have part 1 in this channel, so I'll link it above here on the screen so you can check it out later if you haven't had a chance to do so. I highly suggest, if you haven't had a chance to watch that video yet, that you go check that video first before you watch this one. So today I'll be showing you guys how I'm going to set up for 2021 and how I am decorating my journal for the first month of the year. So super excited, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so my setup for 2021, it's actually going to be very simple. I'm still using the same leather cover that I used for 2020. This is the leather cover from Traveler's Company on a regular size in a color camel. So I'm using the same one, nothing's changed there. In terms of my setup itself, the only really thing that is changing is that I'm getting rid of my craft folder, which is the 020 refill from Traveler's Company. If you've watched my previous video on how I set up for 2020, and I'll link it above here on the screen, the video, if you haven't had the chance to check it out and you'd like to check it out later. In that video I showed you that I was actually setting it up my 2020 journal, and I was using a craft folder as a yearly cover, pretty much. And inside of that cover I wanted to keep track of a couple of different lists, like my travel places and the books that I read throughout the year. What I did realize is that throughout the year I ended up not using that folder at all, and I didn't track anything in that craft folder. One, because let's be honest, we didn't travel in 2020, and two, I did find myself actually going to an app in my phone to track my books instead of going to a tag and adding that tag in my folder. So I didn't use that at all, so I'm getting rid of that thing, and the only really thing that I'm doing on my setup for this year, it's actually keeping my insert as it is. So if you're new here to this channel, you might not know that, but I like to use my journal, my traveler's notebook, as both my planner and daily journal. And how I like to set up, it's for each month I like to have one insert, and inside of this insert I'm going to keep my planner as well as my daily journal, everything in one insert. So the first few pages of this insert is going to be dedicated for my planner portion, and then the remaining pages are going to be dedicated for my daily journal. And that hasn't changed. I'm still doing the same thing. It's working for me so far, so I don't want to change something that is working. I've been through a lot of different setups before, and different styles of journaling and planning throughout the years, and I found myself changing quite a bit because I couldn't find something like a system that would work for me, and the Traveler's Notebook system works for me. It's perfect. It's very simple to set up. You can literally do whatever you want to do with the Traveler's Notebook, and I can have my planner and my daily journal all in one, and it's just so much easier. I hate the fact of carrying two different notebooks, one for my planner and one for my journal. It just makes my life so much easier. And so this is how I'm going to set up. So I'm just gonna keep my inserts, so every month a new insert, the same way that I'm doing it, and I keep it simple. Now when it comes to the theme for this month, I decided to go very simple with the layout. If you've watched any of my Plan With Me videos before, you know that my previous inserts were quite heavily in terms of decoration. They were pretty busy, especially the covers. So I wanted to tone down a little bit and go a little bit light on the ephemera. So that's why you saw here my cover was pretty simple. I wanted to first do like a winter wonderland. That was the theme that I was hoping to go for. But then I realized I didn't have enough ephemera in my stash to do that. So the next best thing that I found was to actually go with a white and gold theme. When I think of New Year's, I think of white and gold for some reason. So yeah, so that was the theme. It's like, actually there's not even a specific theme, it's just a color scheme really. If you notice, like, there's not really a real theme going on. I literally grabbed my stash and everything that was white and gold and tried to mix them together and make it look cohesive somehow. But yeah, the whole idea was to keep it simple. I did film this video in a quite rush, and it's such a pity because I hate, when I'm actually, especially when I'm setting it up a whole new month, especially when there's a whole new year, I hate to rush into those things. But sometimes done is better than not. So here you go. I don't have the luxury to get it pretty right now. It just needs to get done. And but yeah, so if you're new here to this channel, just to explain here a little bit how my setup works. So usually the cover, I just decorated, either I come up with a theme that I want for that month, or I decorate it based on what that month feels more appropriate to decorate my insert with. If there's like some specific holidays or something like that, I like to decorate my insert based on that. And I usually like to indicate in the cover what month and year that insert it is for. I kind of forgot about to put it 2021 in the cover. I just put January, but let's just forget that I forgot about that. And then the first page inside of my insert, that's going to be the goal page. In that page, I actually dedicated for my monthly goal. Now I go into a lot of more details on how I set up for my for my year, how I set up my goals and everything into the part 1 of the series. So if you haven't had the chance to watch that video, again, I highly suggest that you go check out that video first, because it's gonna make more sense and it explains in more details the thought process behind how I set up my planner, the way that I set up my planner. But yeah, that page, I usually make it very simple. I usually try to just, grab a piece of paper that it's enough size that I can actually write it my goal. And I like that page to be the first page in my journal, because it's the first thing that I want to see it when I open my journal. I want to make sure that my goal is always in the front of my mind, if that makes any sense. But yeah, then moving on to the second page here that you're seeing me decorating right now. This is my reading log. Now this is a new layout for me. I used bullet journal system quite a bit, like in the past few years, and if you know anything about bullet journal, you know that the reading log, it is a big layout in the bullet journal system. And I drop off on that layout once I moved to the Traveler's Notebook system. It's just I don't know, it's just so happened that I didn't think you went with it. I wanted to keep it very simple and just do my goals and my daily journal, really to keep just the ephemera that I wanted to keep it. But I am an avid reader. I read constantly, at least I try to. And I don't know, reading to me, it's more about a learning. It's a learning process than actually leisure. So most of the books that I read, they are not fictional. So usually if I'm going to sit down and read a book, I am going to try to learn something from that book. So most of the books that I read, they are either self-help books or they are financial books. So usually I like to keep track of those books, how, what books I read, the time frame that took me to read that book, the rating. And also I like to keep a small summary of what I learned from that book, so I can quickly go back to that if I need to. because I usually like to, put in practice at least one thing out of what I learned from that book. So it's always good to have like a small card that I write it down, a summary or something specific that really caught my attention, that really, changed, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, that really helped me or changed the way, they improved my life somehow. That's what I was trying to say. So I don't know, are you guys like that too, or it's just me that likes to read books? maybe I'm just crazy, but so I just decided to put that in the journal as well, even though my main concern on my journal and planner is to keep a memento of my life. I wanted to try it out and bring it back, the reading log, and see if that would work in my journal. So I made it part of my planner portion, so that's why you see this reading log right after my goal page. And and how I like to set up, it's, I don't know if you could see it because the lighting is pretty bad in this video. I apologize for that. It's just like was all over the place. I started recording during the day and then I didn't have time to finish up, and then I have to finish up in the evening, and it was just a mess. But again, it's better, it's better done than not. So here you go. So I don't have time anymore to do perfect. It has to just get done. So, but what I was saying, I kind of lost train of thought here. But so with the reading log, what I like to do, it's on the right side of the page. I like to keep track of the title of the book that I read, the date, when I started reading, when I finished, and the rate. I like to rate my books. So I usually get 3 stars system. So 1 means the book is really bad, never reading again. 2 stars, that means it's decent, and 3 stars, it's a really good book, and most likely I will revisit that book again. So that's how I rate my books. Do you guys do that too, or no? It's just me? Okay. On the left side of the reading log, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I actually made that calendar. That calendar was gifted to me by one of my pen pals, and it's a very thick calendar. It's like on a cardboard, kind of like. I just use it kind of like a pocket, so that way I could insert inside of it, the notes from the books that I read. That was pretty much it. So I like to have everything there, so it's easier, for me to just quick reference back to those notes of mine. And it's very simple. Usually there's just a small card, like really what I'm gonna write it there is just the main thing that I learned on that book that was very important. And it's something that it really made it a difference in my life once I learned that. Hope that makes sense. All right, moving on because I talk too much. This next layout here, it is the monthly log. I like to use pages from my old planner, my bullet journal planner. I still have a couple of different ones that has some extra pages, so I just use them up. And I like to draw my calendar on the bullet journal pages because, it's dotted pages, so it's easier for me to just mark the calendar and just quick draw the calendar instead of having to measure everything with a ruler. But if you don't have that option to use a dotted page paper, it's just 1 inch by 1 inch per each day if you want to do the same thing. But I like to do that. It's simple, and then I can play around. I can put things underneath it and on top. I don't know, it's just easier. I'm just lazy really, and I don't have time to be measuring everything. I just wanted to quick now if you're going to be using a dotted paper, it's 5 by 5, so 5 spaces by 5 spaces. Hope that makes sense. But 1 inch by 1 inch, and that should do it. So as you can see here, I try to keep the same theme, or at least try my best to keep cohesive and keep the white and gold theme. Of course, here I switched it up a little bit because I decided to use this paper doll that she was wearing, like this white t-shirt with gold writing and a white jacket, but she was wearing these blue jeans pants, and I just decided to add a little bit of blue just to give a little bit of touch of some color so it's not too boring, and I'm constantly just using white and gold. Blue is not my favorite color, but it worked out. I mean, it's technically winter, so blue, it is a very specific color for the winter, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if, just picking a color scheme was the best idea. I wished I had picked a specific theme, but not to complain or anything. It's just I didn't have time really. I wish I had a little bit more time to actually sit down and think of a theme that I wanted to go with for January, especially because this is a new year. It's a fresh new start. I like to make things more nice and pretty. But I don't know, like my life has been so crazy lately. I don't have time to be overthinking things. I just have to get it done. And it's hard for my perfectionist brain. If you're a perfectionist, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, sometimes I don't know what to do with myself. It's just like, oh gosh, I wanted to, re-record everything, to redo everything, but sometimes it's either this or there's no videos, and I can afford the option to not have a video right now because I've been it's lacking so much in videos lately. So I need to put it out at least one video a week, which is like, it's killing me because I think one video a week is so little, but it is what it is. Hopefully in 2021, I'll be able to get back to at least the 3 videos a week, so we get to a more of a regular routine in this channel, especially because I feel like lately my videos have been a little bit far out from what the actual channel it is. It's just because, the lack of videos have been a big reason for that. But yeah, anyways, rambling. Now that we are done with the monthly calendar, and just so you know, if you're new here, the monthly calendar, what I like to do with that one is just to keep track of bigger things that are happening in that month. I like to keep track of, birthdays, holidays, events, trips, things like that. That's what I like to keep track on that calendar. Do I need to have a monthly calendar in my planner? Probably not. Do I use it a lot? No. But it's a good visual assistance to have it like all at a glance how your month is looking like. This was more helpful to me before COVID, because it was easier for me to keep track of my travelings and things like that, and events and parties. Now, life has been a little bit less exciting, let's put it that way, but let's hope 2021 it's going to change that. So that's what we hope for. All right, last layout of the day. This is my planner portion. So first of all, we started with the goal, with the goal page. That's my monthly goal. That's what I'm going to be working towards that month. So that's the first page that I like to keep it there right in front. Then we have my reading log, and then my monthly calendar. And now the next few pages are going to be my weekly logs. So for each week of the month, I like to dedicate a full side of a page. So you're gonna see here, I'm going to be using for the first week of January, I'm gonna be using the left side of the page. For the second week of January, I'm gonna be using the right side of the page. I usually like to dedicate 1 inch per each day of the week. I usually start marking from the bottom, work my way up. But because this first week of January, we only have 3 days pertaining to January, the remaining days was actually for December. So I just decided to put them on the top I know they are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and usually I put them on the bottom because my week starts on Monday. Usually that's how I like to start my week. Personal preference. I know some people don't mind to start on Sunday. I just feel Sunday, it's weekend still. I don't know. It feels weird to start the week on Sunday, to me at least. So my week starts on Monday, but because again, this was just the first week of January and I don't mix up months. So I'm just gonna have here things that pertains to January. I'm going to eliminate the days that do not pertain to January. So that's why you're gonna see here that, I have a lot of space left on the bottom. So I just decorated because I don't need that space, because again, I'm not using those dates that pertains to December. Hope that makes sense. Those dates are actually in my insert from December. But yeah, and in this weekly log here, I use only for my daily goals. I don't use my weekly logs for any tasks or anything like that. It's just for my daily goal. That's gonna be something that's gonna help me achieve my monthly goal. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Let me bring you close so you can see all the details for each page that we decorated today. Today is the last day of 2020. I can't believe it. Yay, we made it. All right, thank you so much for watching and for sticking this far with me. I really appreciate it. Again, hope you have a great new year, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.